I never saw myself as the kind of man life could blindside. I always believed that if you loved with honesty, stayed loyal, and kept your word, life would return that same energy. My name is Daniel, and until that Saturday morning, I believed I was living a simple, steady kind of happiness with my wife, Claire. 7 years married. Not perfect, but whoever is, she'd smile when I'd leave for work, send me little heart emojis throughout the day, and kiss me goodnight. I thought that meant something solid. She'd been away for 3 days on what she called a wellness retreat with her college friends. I had no suspicion. She'd been talking about it for weeks. And when the project I was working on wrapped earlier than expected, I decided I wanted to surprise her. Something romantic. Show up, bring flowers, cook dinner, spend time together before she returned. Small gestures, the kind that remind you what real love is supposed to feel like. The drive to the cabin was 2 hours of quiet roads and optimistic thoughts. I remember humming along with the radio, thinking about her face when she'd see me. Morning air was crisp, the kind that makes you feel grateful to be alive. I pulled into the gravel driveway next to her car and smiled. She must have arrived early. Perfect. She'll be surprised. The front door wasn't locked. I stepped inside slowly, calling her name. Silence. The place smelled like perfume and coffee. I walked to the living room. 2 mugs on the table, steam still floating off them. My chest tightened, but my mind tried to rationalize it. Maybe one of her friends stayed the night. Maybe they were still getting ready upstairs. I went up the stairs. The bedroom door was slightly open. I pushed it gently, and the sound that met me froze everything inside me. Soft laughter. Sheets shifting. Claire's voice, but saying a name that wasn't mine. I just stood there, unable to move. My body knew what it meant before my brain could accept it. I saw her hair on the pillow, her bare shoulder, and a man's arm wrapped around her. The flowers slipped out of my hand. I didn't shout. I didn't ask anything. I just turned around quietly, closed the door, and walked back to my car. My heart wasn't racing. It felt empty, like something vital had just drained out forever. I sat there for a long time. The windshield blurred as I stared forward, the weight settling deeper. My phone buzzed, Claire calling. I let it ring. Driving home, memories replayed with cruel clarity. Her whispering, "You're my safe place." All the late-night dinners with her girls. Her sudden change in perfume, she said her friend suggested. All the puzzle pieces suddenly rearranged into a truth I never wanted to see. By the time I reached home, the shock had turned into something colder. Not anger, just certainty. I packed a small bag, sat at the kitchen table, and wrote a note. You don't have to explain. I saw enough. Take care of yourself. No accusations. No questions. Just the truth sitting raw on paper. Later that evening, she came through the door. I heard her pause, then rush toward me. "Daniel, please let me explain," she cried. I didn't look up. "There's nothing to explain," I said quietly. "You made your choice. I just happened to witness it." Tears kept spilling down her face. She insisted it was a mistake, that it meant nothing, that she didn't know why it happened. But her words bounced off me. You can't unsee betrayal. It isn't just an image. It becomes a wound carved deep into trust. She reached for my hand. I pulled away. "You remember what you said when we got married?" I asked. "You said real love means showing up even when it's hard." She nodded. I stood up calmly. "I showed up, Claire. You just didn't expect me to." That night I left, checked into a cheap highway motel. It smelled like old disinfectant and dust, but at least there was silence. I laid there staring at the ceiling, feeling the ache spread through me. I wasn't angry she cheated. I was angry that she would have continued smiling, pretending, lying if I hadn't walked in on it. That's the part that destroys you, knowing the performance would have continued. She texted paragraphs of apologies, confessions, empty promises. I read them all, answered none. Eventually her words stopped. Silence replaced guilt. And that's when the truth finally hit. Betrayal doesn't just break love. It exposes what was already broken underneath it. Weeks passed. I found a small apartment downtown, smaller but brighter. I started running again, cooking again, learning how to exist without apology. Loneliness hurt at first, but slowly it transformed into freedom. I stopped trying to figure out her motives. Some questions don't heal you. They just keep your wounds open. Months later, I got an envelope in the mail. A letter from Claire. Not another apology, but a goodbye. She wrote that she'd moved to a new city, that she hoped I found peace, that she finally understood what she destroyed. I folded the letter, set it on the counter, and felt nothing. Not hate, not sadness, just closure. People always ask how you move on after something like that. Truth is, you don't get over it. You grow around it. The pain stays, but it becomes smaller than the life you rebuild. I realize forgiveness isn't about freeing them. It's freeing yourself from the weight of their choices. Sometimes when I drive past a road that leads to that cabin, I still feel a spark of that morning, the hope, the flowers, the silence. And I remind myself, the man who drove up there was innocent in a way I'll never be again. But maybe that's all right. Innocence is breakable, but wisdom survives. Love didn't betray me. A person did. And now, I finally understand the difference.